All right, what's going on? Fourth and Five. Josh Throne here for another episode of Fourth and Five, brought to you by, as always, presented by Ortho Arkansas. Ortho Arkansas is one of the most amazing orthopedic hospitals in Arkansas. Guys, if you got a neck, a back, a problem, a joint, anything, you go over there and see the doctors at Ortho Arkansas. They're absolutely amazing, and we really appreciate them sponsoring this show as a whole. Now, this segment doesn't have a sponsor yet. So before we get to that, I want to introduce who we have on the show today, because if you don't already know, this is Matt Harris, class of 2005. This guy is one of the best, most elite safeties I have ever played around. I absolutely look when I tell you, yeah, no, I'm serious though. When I tell, I got a couple stories to tell people about how hard you hit me as a freshman. I almost thought you didn't like me. But no, we're super glad to have you on the show, Matt. This is awesome because our viewers have been begging for more in-depth knowledge. And Matt, you're a guy who knows everything about football. You were a coach on the field. So
Yeah,
thanks for coming on. And what have you been up to?
man, I'm Dallas Fort Worth area in the real estate world, Josh. I appreciate the intro, by the way, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
45, I got a lot of love for you guys. We go back.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the best people right here, man. But yeah, living life well. I got two little ones. Work with my wife on a daily basis. She's in the real estate game with me as well, and so we're just, man, we're grateful, we're blessed, and taking it a day at a time. Live for today, man.
So tell the viewers who, might have a little bit of memory problems about, you know, your tenure at Arkansas. You came in with Houston Nutt, finished up with Petrino. Get everybody a little bit of flashback on what that was like.
Yeah, so man, that I had a really unique experience. I was in some really good teams, some good locker rooms, with two really good coaching staffs for completely different reasons. I came in '05 as a true freshman. I was undersized, two-star coming out of Dallas, Texas. Houston Nutt
Mm-hmm.
took a chance on me. Hey, best ball skills in the SEC. Went down to Dallas, Texas, and got him. Uh, Houston's my guy for sure. I had a lot of fun in both locker rooms, but he took a chance on kind of a skinny white kid out of Dallas, Texas, and I'll forever be grateful for that. But I came in '05 with a guy named Darren McFadden and Felix Jones. Not sure if you've heard of those guys, but
Oh, yeah.
they were studs. I'll tell you a quick story. Darren McFadden stole my swagger for 2 years. We were true freshmen, two-a-days, and they did the classic D-Mac backhand pitch. And I remember putting my foot in the ground, Josh. I was boundary safety. And I'm a Texas boy, man. I was raised by,
Right.
Hall of Famer. I knew how to run the alley. I was a
Mm-hmm.
banger. I knew what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Apparently, so did Mac. Sorry, let me turn that off.
No,
Oh,
you're good. You're a busy man.
yeah, man, duty called. Um, but so, long story longer, Casey did the little stretch play to the field, and he turned
Mm-hmm.
around and he just scooped it to D-Mac. I remember putting my foot in the ground, Josh, and thinking this in my head: he's got to prove it to me. I'm about to blast this dude. I'm gonna smoke this dude from Oak Grove, small town
Yeah.
Arkansas. Nothing.
No.
He had like offers from Tennessee and Alabama, and he was like 12, so I probably
Right.
should, tucked my ego a little bit. But I found out real quick who Darren McFadden was.
But you met him in the hole. You met him there.
I met him on the sideline, Josh, and I put everything I had into him. And I was sniffing my chin strap.
Yeah.
He physically stepped on my chest and ran me over in the sideline. If he didn't stumble on my shoulder pads physically, he would have ran for another 60. But I thought everyone was going to be like that in the SEC, and it
Right.
turns out he was one of a kind. So getting to practice against those guys, real talk, throughout the next year or two as a
Yeah.
red shirt, true red shirt, it truly made me who I was. Those players, that time on scout team that I spent my freshman year, I wanted to quit, and
Mm-hmm.
my dad encouraged me to stay. And you weren't allowed to tackle those guys. You want to protect those guys.
Right.
And my dad was like, "Hey, I need you to piss off every offensive coach before you leave Arkansas." And I was like, "Excuse me, what'd you say?" Uh, but he knew it was a mindset thing,
Right.
and so I went in there and started playing hard again, and ended up being a backup safety, going into my redshirt freshman year with Reggie Herring, who was an absolute psychopath in a great way. He was a
Right.
fantastic defensive coordinator. A lot of the film we're going to watch today reminds me of a Reggie Herring. It fires me up 3rd and 9, fourth quarter, and those
Right.
corners pressed up. Man, that's the stuff that the SEC was made of, and T. Will's doing a heck of a job. I think, especially last Saturday, and we took
Yeah.
down old Rocky Top. So I had some unique stories, two different coaching styles and staffs with Houston and Petrino. So two different playbooks. I was a film nerd. I was a playbook guy. I was big, fast, and strong, but
Mm-hmm.
that's where I got my edge was kind of the stuff we're about to do today.
Right. You know, I when I remember back coming in as a freshman, Matt Harris was, a fifth-year senior. We
Hmm.
looked at him, no matter what side of the ball you played on, offense, defense, you knew Matt Harris was another coach, and he had the authority on the field as a coach to be there to direct the defense. And I had to face him all the time because as a freshman, I'm coming in on the scout team. The only good thing about our scout team in 2008 was that Ryan Mallett was our quarterback.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so we
that's
we
right.
had at least a
Yeah,
little bit of hope because I know I'm not going to create any space on these guys,
bro,
but maybe Mallet can put it in the only area that
that's right.
my fingers can touch it. But then you got to take the hit. There's so many different times where I ran off to the wrong sideline after being running a slant route. Matt Harris come downfield and he come down hard and he would ear hole you like I was really playing for Alabama. That's how he treated practice. So I learned quickly. This guy is dead serious all the time when he steps on the football field. So I'm super excited to have you
Yeah.
on our show and to bring that to our audience. And we'll be able to dive into more stories and fun stuff as the season goes on. But you guys, this is what Fourth and Five is trying to do: is trying to bring high quality people, but also high quality minds to the show so that we can break down some footage. So.
Yeah.
Like, look, we know that we've got LSU coming up. This is a bye week, and Matt and I were trying to coordinate this to bring this. And so, what we're going to do today is we're going to dive off into some of the previous game film and actually have him take a look at the defense and just explain to us what he sees, good and bad,
Yeah.
and teach us a little bit and get into the film in that way. And then later this week, we're going to try to coordinate another time so that we can get together and look at some Ole Miss LSU film as well, so we can start breaking that down too. And hopefully, if you're watching this and you got a business and you want to get involved in this segment, we're looking for a sponsor for this segment because I think it's going to absolutely take off. And names, right? So DJ said that this segment, Matt, should be called the Lockdown. Now, you told me you previously had a different show called what? What'd you say it was?
It was called Getting Defensive with Matt Harris.
Yeah, then there's no better name for a show with Matt Harris because let me tell you, this guy can get defensive real quick if you start talking too much crap. There's been multiple times in my life where it was on the football field, in the locker room, over at his house where I was like, oh, did I just say the wrong thing? Because he is lit right now.
All in, baby, all the time. All
All the
in.
time. 0 to 100 real quick. That's what it should be called, 0 to 100.
To 100. There you go. There
So,
you go.
so you guys leave us a comment in the
Yeah,
comments what y'all think this show should be called because this is
there
going to
you
be
go.
fun, and we look forward to it. As of right now, we're leaning towards the lockdown, but we don't know yet. So look forward to reading those comments. And Matt, let's go ahead and jump into it. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are.
So I'm gonna break it down to you guys right now. Like you're a defensive back in the SEC, right? It's rowdy. It's loud. You can't holler 15 feet to your guy. Your body mechanics are going off. So what they would teach you is you. So I was raised by a guy who played football for the Dallas Cowboys. Everybody knows it. But like he was coached by a guy named Tom Landry, and Landry used to say, "Hey, anticipation beats reaction every time." So down and distance and personnel, Josh, I'm going to have you call it out every time. I'm going to get you and the viewers trained up on how to be a DB in the SEC. Okay. So look, first play right here, we got 11 personnel, 11 meaning one back, one tight end. Why that's important? Well, if they don't have a single back in the backfield, let's go obvious. They're probably going to pass the ball. If they got a back, a tight end, a fullback, two tight ends, one receiver, or no receivers like Alabama used to run sometimes, guess what? They're running it right, and they tell you where they run it. We're going to run it right here off your hip on two. So you look at down and distance after your personnel. So right now in the first clip, we got 3rd and 4, 11 personnel. It's the beginning of the second half. The score is 3-0. This is a traditional SEC matchup, baby. Nothing fired me up more than a low-scoring pressure game.
Right.
Hey, you come to the SEC to be the best, you got to beat the best. And this was an opportunity for our Hogs, and they showed out, man. I could not be watching this film. I was fired up.
Yeah.
You can't tell. So,
No, you're texting me through the week, letting me know I cannot wait for this show. So I'm excited. I'm excited.
all in, baby. Okay, so This week we installed a new defense, from what I understand. Coach T. Will did his thing. He installed a 3-2-6.
Mm-hmm.
So three down linemen, two linebackers, six defensive backs. It's a very modern way of playing football. We never ran a 3-2-6 unless it was an obvious pass down, Hail Mary situation where you need to just put in a lot of defensive backs. It's unique because you got one back, one tight end, which Tennessee does a really good job disguising run versus pass, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I watched a little bit of Grant and DJ on the offensive side. The offensive players, they know the snap count, they know the play, they know where they're going. Defensive people have to be very anticipatory. You got to guess, right? What's the run play
Right.
going to be if it's a run? What's the pass play going to be if it's a pass?
Mm-hmm.
So on this first set, we got three down linemen, two backers, and six DBs. A lot of times when you get six defensive backs, Josh, you're going to sense some sort of pressure because when you're in a 3-2-6, you're run soft, meaning that they're going to run the ball on you because your DBs are like me. They're, skinny, fast guys, but you're banging down in the box, man. Those
Right.
those linemen and tight ends, they're real deal in the SEC. And so Tennessee knew that, and they took advantage of us on this play.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to roll the tape a little bit. We got a field blitz. It's a zone blitz. Goodness gracious, I don't know what's going on here with that. I turned it
Getting
off.
lit up, man. You might be missing a sale on a house.
I'm turning it off, Josh. I'm turning it off. How do I work this phone? Um, I hope I didn't turn it off. It still goes on the computer. Hey, week one, lessons learned, man. Always get better. Game day,
That's right.
be critical of yourself. So you got a field blitz coming from the slot defensive back here, number three. He's kind
Mm-hmm.
of a hybrid linebacker safety, which I really like. He had a great game. You'll see him pop up in some film here. He was a little late on this blitz, right? We're watching film to be critical.
Mm-hmm.
Winning game film is sometimes the most dangerous game film you can watch because you're sitting there chalking it up with your boys. You just took down number four Tennessee,
Right.
and you missed this rep. But it's
Right.
crucial. I used to love game film. I'm serious about this. So you're going to see the tight end come into the box. It looks like it's a run play. You'll see the wide receivers. They're split way out wide.
Mm-hmm.
So in my mind as a safety, I'm thinking inside breaking routes if it's a pass play or outside breaking runs because that's where all the green is. That's where the grass is.
Right.
Tennessee does a little bit of both here. So the tight end who's in a fullback position, he's going to go up the gut. He's going to reach our backside linebacker so he doesn't have pursuit. He can't get the running back.
Mm-hmm.
And then the left guard, if you watch, he climbs to get to the second level, the linebackers. It's really
Mm-hmm.
important for the offensive linemen to know their blocking schemes, as Grant can attest. This linebacker didn't do a good job. So when I was with Cleveland for the 30 minutes I was there
Mm-hmm.
with Rob Ryan. He is like Reggie Herring, an absolute psycho. The best defensive coordinators are great psychos.
Mm-hmm.
Buddy Ryan, son, Bears, 80s defense, he was awesome. And he would say, to stop the run, you got to build a wall, set an edge. Build the wall, set the
Set
edge.
an edge. Yeah.
I was really good, Josh, at knowing if I was part of the wall or if I was the edge.
Mm-hmm.
And when you know that, you can play really freaking fast and real aggressive. That's
Mm-hmm.
how I got on the field, in my opinion. I knew exactly where I needed to be. So this safety and the play side linebacker you're going to see here real quick, when you roll the tape, this linebacker is going to get reached by the left guard, which is fine,
Mm-hmm.
but he's got to pick a side. You have
Mm-hmm.
to have great rush discipline, rush lane discipline, A gap, B gap, C gap. If you're supposed to be in the B gap, don't be in the B and then try and jump into A. You're going to see that he messes the safety up. The safety
Mm-hmm.
comes running downhill, and you pause it right there. You got backside safety, play side safety, and the linebacker. They're all three in the same spot.
Right.
You don't need to be a former defensive back at the collegiate
Right.
level to know that that's not right. So you got to think about your rush lane discipline on this. That running back goes right up the gut, and he knows dang well someone messed up. He picks his knees up. He goes for about 50 more. So
Mm-hmm.
it's okay to get reached by that lineman. Just make sure that you're on one side or the other. He squared him up. He needs to just stay hard on one side or the other. That way that safety knows, hey, if he's on that left side, I'm going to come down on the right side. It's pretty
Right.
simple stuff, but it's bang, bang. It's bang,
Mm-hmm.
bang. Okay, second play. This is what drives coaches crazy and drove me crazy. Get lined up. It is second down on the 3-yard line. They just scored the previous play before that we just broke down and got them down to the 2-yard line, or they scored eventually on that play. Now they're back in the red zone. Look at us right here. Look at this. Look where they snapped the ball.
Right. So
They,
let me ask you this: Is it when they're rushing? I mean, obviously Tennessee plays a
Yeah.
a tempo offense, and they try to get a lot of distance with the receivers, setting them up out there by the numbers. They try to spread the field and then move quickly.
Right.
From a defensive back, mind frame, what do you do in this situation where they've just busted it open for you? Now they're lining up for another quick play. I mean, what's the key for a defense to not lag behind in this situation?
Yeah, man, that's tough. That's prep. That's game week prep all day. You know dang well they're going to get lined up. They're going to go fast. We played Auburn, with the Gus Malzahn Auburn. Traditionally, defensive players get 60 to 70-ish snaps per game.
Mm-hmm.
Malzahn, we clocked in at like 120 snaps. This
God.
dude was going crazy. So
Right.
we knew ahead of time. A lot of times you got a fail-safe defense, right? It's just like, hey, four down. This is your front. This is your backfield. Cover
Mm-hmm.
four, two high safety. There's a saying in football, you'd rather be all wrong than half right. If half of your guys are running zone, the other half's running man, there's going to be a coverage bust.
Right.
If the coach calls a man play and you're really running zone, but everyone's on the same page, that's all right.
Right.
That's okay.
Right.
Defense is very reactive. It's very animalistic. You got to react to what's thrown at you. And so a lot of times you just got to play football, especially when you know you're in the red zone. I don't know if you remember this, Josh, but every time we practice red zone, goal line, you're on the 2 yard line and
Mm-hmm.
practice,
Yeah.
it can be a fight
Right.
almost
Every time.
every time
Yep.
because it's a dog fight, bruh. There ain't nothing nice about goal line. You
Right.
would get lined up, and even if the play call wasn't called, you would just go hard.
Right, exactly. And if they didn't like the look, it's get up and run it again, and don't let anybody get set. And if you let the offense score and
Right.
you get beat, they're treating it like it's a real
Oh, yeah.
football game. I mean,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the intensity is crazy, especially in
Oh,
those
yeah.
in those high tempo 2 minute drill, you
No
know,
doubt.
defensive scout team situations.
No
That's
doubt.
yeah,
Yeah,
it gets
I
pretty wild.
apologize about that slant route, but you know what I mean. If you're
God,
not
dude.
practicing at that level,
Right,
it's he's going to come down there. You're going to get caught off the ball, and they're going to score a touchdown. It could be the matter of a game win and loss. So get freaking lined up, right?
right.
Uh, so in this second play, down in distance, it's second and goal, second and two actually. Now they've got three receivers spread out here. So you're in the goal line. You're losing your DBs here.
Mm-hmm.
So backers and box, this is your game. This is your baby. First thing I see here, Josh, get lined up. And fun fact that a lot of people don't know about your boy here is
Mm-hmm.
I didn't play defensive back until I was a junior in high school because I played linebacker. I loved it, dude. I loved to stick my nose in there and just get
Mm-hmm.
after it. Coaches call it shooting your gun. In the goal line, especially, when you see a hole, bam, open up. When you see guards and centers do this, and that hole opens up, that's you, baby.
Right.
Linebacker all day. Even if the
Mm-hmm.
ball's not coming in there, you fill that hole, fill the space, shoot your gun right now. Linebacker does a little, he's a little hesitant. It's second and two on the goal line. Shoot your gun and go let that guy know who you are. Like
Mm-hmm.
hit him in the mouth. You're not trying to go make the tackle. You got a lead blocker. What you want to do with that lead blocker is shove him 2 yards backwards into the backfield. Now
Mm-hmm.
that running back's got to bounce. You want him going sideways because we're fast, baby. We got
Right.
speed. It's the SEC. You don't want him going vertical. You want him going this way. You want him dancing. So that linebacker needs to shoot his gun. Second
Mm-hmm.
thing I need to see, I need 17 to come join the party,
Mm-hmm.
right? If I ever saw a linebacker put the first bang on somebody, oh man, hold him up and let me get there, coach.
Right.
Hold him up and let me get there. Your boy gets to come in swinging, right? The ball's right there on the rib cage. You can go in and try and strip the ball. If you miss the ball, you get the ribs. Make them hurt a little bit. This is not a nice game. This is the
Mm-hmm.
goal line. So, hey, look, it was second and two on the goal line. We didn't get lined up. You got to have a little enthusiasm. You got to have a little fire. A guy like me, it was a lot like 17. What was that? My boy Clark or
Mm-hmm.
what's his
Yeah,
name? Yeah.
Hudson. Yep.
He did a decent job. He came in and banged. That running back's real. He
Right.
just got introduced to a real SEC running back.
Yeah.
That's what happened. So, but getting lined up, Josh, mark my words, you get lined up, you probably stop him a yard or two back, right?
Yep. Yep.
So that's what happened on that play. We're going into play three here, right down a distance, Josh. Second and 7. We got one back, one tight end. You're starting to see a trend. I bet you if I watched game film all week, if I was in there, they're running a lot of 11 personnel. They're running out of it. They're passing out. I think we're going to see a pass play here. So we send that motion out. Whenever you see motion out of the backfield, brother, it's a pass. It's
Mm-hmm.
second and 7. It's medium down. They're up 14-13. It's the fourth quarter with 6:50 left versus Tennessee, number 4 in the country. Our hogs are like this, man.
Hmm.
calm. They're cool.
Hmm.
They execute this play. It fires me up to see this. Um, so you got a blitz from the field. Let me see if that corner's tight. Yeah,
Yep.
look, they're pressing. They're pressing again. In a 3-2-6, they're blitzing from the field, Josh. That's a fire zone, so that's a field blitz. You got your safety running back away from the field. I did this blitz 100 times. That's
Now,
how
do
we
you
beat
think are they lining up in this 3-2-6 because Tennessee just spreads the field so well in their formations that they just figured, hey, look, we'll take the three defensive linemen. I'll play with more DBs and I'll send stuff off the edge and keep them guessing and just try to play their game but play it better. Is that more or less T.
Absolutely.
Will's? Yeah.
Absolutely. So the defensive rules, Josh, is send more people than they can block and hope you get there in time. A defensive back's best friend is a great pass rush. That's what you're going to get on this one right here. The blitz was actually really well timed, and they're going to make that running back, I think it is. No, it's a tight end. He's coming across. He's in a fullback position. He's going to swing across to that right side of the field, the offensive line. They're fanning left.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I loved it when that happened because you got one guy trying to take two. So someone's going to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And again, a defensive back's best friend is a good defensive end or a good pass rush. And that's what the 3-2-6 does. So it protects you in the pass situation because Tennessee, I think they were producing like 500 plus yards per game. I mean,
Right.
you're number 4 in the country. Like everyone who's going to play Tennessee, they almost lost last week or this past Saturday because I promise you, well, it was a Florida game, right? It's the world's largest cocktail party.
Yep.
Florida watched the Arkansas game. I bet you they didn't watch anything else but the Arkansas game. They probably ran 3-2-6 the whole time, and they
Right.
sent pressure off the edge, and they made them think. So what happened was our defensive back up top. He's in press man, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what kind of veins, just ice water's going through there? He's stuck on that wide out. He runs a stick route trying to get first down. They're not trying to go in the big play. And he sat there and made a great play on the ball. This defensive back to make a play like that was incredible. But man, that linebacker scraping off the edge with that field blitz, it's really impressive. I mean, that was a clinic tape. Those Hogs are going to watch that over and over again. That's going to be one of our favorite calls. The confidence that play, that this game gives a defense like our Hogs,
Mm-hmm.
it's dude, it's palpable. You can touch it. You can take it with you to LSU. It fires me up. I'm
Are
sweating
you,
in here.
are you I mean, is it typical to see a press coverage against a team like Tennessee in this situation? Is this what you would call and what you'd like to see out of a defense, or does that put you at risk, fourth quarter? I mean, how do you
Dude,
play this?
I love it.
Yeah.
First off, I love it. Second off, if I was T. Will, I'd be terrified to call it because guess what happens when they double move you? Guess what happens when he runs a post route and not a little stick route?
Right.
It's terrifying, but that's what we ran with Reggie Herring a lot. We had
Hmm.
Chris Houston on the corners. We had Jamal Anderson as a defensive end, Sam Aljabutu, right? Even the Bobby Petrino teams, we had really good defensive box sometimes, but we were learning a new scheme. So
Right.
it was hard when you're learning a new scheme to be really aggressive. These guys trust T. Will. It's a completely symbiotic relationship, man. Like your DBs are playing off your DNs. If that quarterback gets out and is able to scramble, I don't care if it's Deion Sanders back there. That receiver's going to get open.
Right.
So a good pass, it's a complete relationship. It's a team game. It's the most beautiful game in the world because it's a team game. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think moving forward, Josh, after this game, that's what I meant by instilling some confidence.
Right.
We should be able to play this exact game every single time. Reggie Herring used to say, "Hey, the magic's not in the play call; it's in you guys. I could call the same play every play, and you guys should be able to execute." That's what's great about sports, man. It's just an
It,
individual
you
level.
know, I look at so many situations where we're playing, teams like Alabama for the past decade, where we have been struggling at Arkansas, and they
Yeah,
always seem to their defense gets a lot more simple.
yeah,
Honestly, because of the type of talent and confidence that they have on the field.
yeah,
They're in a lot of one-on-one situations where they're just trusting their guys to go up and make a play and be better than the receiver. And
yeah,
that's when I watch this, not knowing the X and O's, just being able to look at it on the surface level. Like, look, our defensive backs are getting themselves in much more of man-to-man type of situations, soloed out there on an island, and we're playing it a lot better than what we ever have been playing in the recent past because we know we've struggled defensively. So I think that's pretty cool to see. I think we got another play to jump into. 4th and 9, fourth quarter, 3 minutes left. Where are we
There
at?
you go. That's right. So we got third and 9. There's 3 minutes and 35 seconds left, and there's a 1 point game, Josh. Our
Hmm.
DBs are just sitting there like this, man. I love it.
Right.
You got one back, one tight end. The tight end is split out wide. It's an obvious passing down. It's 3rd and 9. You know, as a defensive back, my dad used to say before every single snap, the play is coming my way, and I'm gonna make it. He used to get pissed off when the ball would go somewhere else because he'd be like, no, 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 I don't want Leroy or Charlie to make it. I want to make the play. That's
Right.
what you got to be thinking on 3rd and 9. 3 minutes to go versus Tennessee, fourth quarter. Come my way, baby. I know where this ball's coming, and that's exactly what this linebacker and safety. Oh, so good. I can't wait. This is a safety's dream. This is a clinic tape. So we're in basically press man. When look at the defensive strategy now. 4 down linemen. We're in a
Hmm.
4-2-5. We ran this a lot. This is a nickel defense. So you take out a linebacker, you put in an extra defensive back. So right now, for some reason, throughout the fourth quarter, our 3-2-6 wasn't getting there. So our 3-2-6, they're switching it up with the 4 down lineman look on this one. Let's see how it does. So we don't blitz a backer, but what he does, they call it an ad blitz. You see that?
Hmm.
That backer adds. So it's basically telling me that we got man to man. That backer's got man to man on the running back. This backer's got man to man on the tight end on the left side there. Safety's free. Corners, lock it up. No excuses. You run the tape, that backer adds, and the other
Hmm.
backer who's lined up on the tight end. Tight ends are extremely athletic now, as
Right.
DJ. 45 still haunts my dreams sometimes. So this field side linebacker here, you're going to see him locked up with 87, the tight end. This tight end's shifty now. He's going to run just a little 10-yard in, and he got the leverage. You see, he tried to get on the inside of that linebacker, Josh, but look at the safety come down and sit.
Hmm.
Beautiful play, man. That right there is like, I mean, that's an all SEC safety making that play. Now, you got to make that year after year, game after game to be all SEC. But that right there just saved the first down with 3 minutes to go, third and
Right.
9, get off the field, give your offense a chance. Cannot stress to you how big of a play that was under the lights in Donald W, baby. That was big time by that safety.
Yeah, that play made. We had a top five plays last week when we kind of went over this game, and that play to me was one of the most crucial plays. They did get back on the field with another attempt to go down the field and score. I think we talked about the end of that game, so
Yeah.
they had another chance, but that was a
Yeah.
big momentum builder to just set up the rest of the fourth quarter for us.
Yeah.
I don't think if we don't stop them there, I'm not sure we
No.
finish the game out the way that we did.
No. No.
So.
Look at the next snap. Snap number 5 here. Look at this 47 seconds left. 3rd and 2, but look at the score.
Hmm.
19-14. On third
Hmm.
and 9, it was 14-13 Tennessee. We stopped them on 3rd and down. Offense got the ball. They went down there, drove, put a tutty on the freaking scoreboard, baby. And now we're up 14-19 with 47 seconds left. It's 3rd and 2.
Right.
This drives me nuts. Josh, get lined up. Get lined
Right.
up. It's 49 seconds left. This is how you lose football games. Right here.
Yep.
Look at our linemen. Stand it up. Now I get it. My guy out there on the edge, number 40, he does a good job pass rush. Keep him contained. Don't let him out. Look how tired they are, boss.
Yep.
Tired. And I get it. But hey, when you get a loss in the column, like, oh man, 40 seconds left in the game, the goal of those defensive ends in that situation, Josh, is to climb high, go shoulder pad height, and sit it down. They
Mhm.
want that quarterback to step up in the pocket and scramble. They don't want him throwing what he just did.
Right.
Now, defensive end, tired. It's okay. DB's got to do their job. There's 3 down linemen. We got 6 out there. The safeties are 15 yards deep. They're in a deep 2 zone. Safety got caught. His
Hmm.
eyes are in the backfield. He's looking at the quarterback, and he's late to help.
But Matt,
Got
how much more pressure? How much more pressure does that put on a defensive back when you've got a quarterback like this that can run as well and
Sure.
throw? You're in a situation where it's the end of the game. You've been on the field already quite a bit in the fourth quarter. Now
Yeah.
you've lost contain on the quarterback. He's rolling out. I mean,
Yeah.
what are you thinking from a DB perspective when we're in these types of situations?
Plaster, Josh. Plaster. That's the terminology. When you see a quarterback scramble and you're
Hmm.
a deep safety, you're not worried about making that tackle. You're worried about stopping exactly what happened here. It's 3rd and 2, and they go throw the ball, and they get a ball completed on the 24-yard line now. First
Right.
down with 37 seconds left. That's how you lose a football game,
Yep.
right? So, again, a little Cleveland story. When I was up there, I was taking notes. It was rookie mini camp. I was taking notes, taking notes. This is, this, that, and the other. And they're like, all right, does anyone have any questions? And I was like, I got 1,000, but I'll just ask one. And I was like, yeah, coach, like, what's our alignment? Like, you didn't tell me the alignment. And he was like, son, this is the NFL. You don't have an alignment. You have a responsibility. And I was like, This is
Whoa.
my dream. Let me
Yeah.
play in the NFL forever. I don't want an alignment. I want a responsibility.
Right.
And those moments when that quarterback's scrambling, you just got to remember your responsibility. Do your job. Do your job. They call it I don't know if we can cuss on this, but it's called a hero asshole play.
Mhm.
Uh, I'll keep it clean, but that's a proper terminology in the
Right.
locker room. Basically, the coaches are saying, "Hey, look, we recruited you because your athleticism and you make plays. I want you to have a leash. I don't want to put you so tight that you're not going to use that athleticism. If you go and move off your responsibility and you go make a play, I'm gonna be the first one down there to celebrate with you. If you move off that responsibility and your man gets the ball, I'm gonna be the first one down there to talk bad to you."
Right.
So they let you know, they're like, "Hey, look, this is a serious play, and you got to be really focused and dialed in here. If you're not, that's how you lose a football game. This is the stuff that ESPN loves. Tennessee underdog the whole time, and then they go back and they win the game because of one snap. The plaster term is very serious. The defensive back, the corner, should have never let him. It was the scramble drill, right? So
Right.
when that quarterback rolls this way, that wideout was running a post, but he
Right.
adjusted to run back to where his quarterback was, and the corner, just like the safety, out there looking to see what the heck's going on, just stay on the man.
In the DB's defense, I mean, if a play gets extended like this, I mean, you can only cover a guy for so long.
Bro,
I
I'm
mean,
telling
that
you, I'm
that
telling you to do it.
yeah, it's for them to pull that play off. I mean,
Yeah,
honestly, like you said, from a defensive perspective, you've got to be able to keep the quarterback inside the pocket and turn
yes,
him upfield, not
absolutely.
let him get outside of contain and take his
Right,
time on that play to find
right.
somebody scrambling, downfield like that. But
Yeah.
we go into the next play, and again, our defense crucial stop here.
Oh,
But it happened so fast when I was in the stadium.
yeah,
When I'm in the stadium, I'm taking notes. I'm texting
yeah,
you. I'm texting DJ. I'm jotting notes down about everything. I like to sit behind the team that we're playing too, because I like to be
right.
able to hear what they're talking about. If I can get a close ear on what they're
Yeah,
what they're saying in their huddles, just so I can figure out what are they scheming in between their different offensive series. So
yeah.
I wrote this play down here because I mean, obviously, it's one of the most crucial plays is the biggest stop of the game. But
No
I mean,
question.
from a defensive perspective,
Yeah.
you've got to be nothing but nerves right here. At least I was in the stands. How do they pull this off and keep that type of poise?
Stay cool, man.
Yeah.
I used to hate, how do I say this? When they get into the red zone, something switches in a defensive back in a defensive huddle's mindset. It gets really hard to score the closer you get to the end zone. Teams like to throw deep balls because once you get down to the 20-yard line, you can't run a whole lot of misdirection and stuff like that. So right now as a defensive back, the ball's on the 20-yard line, you're already lining up 12 yards deep. You take two or three back pedals, you're already in the red zone. Or
Right.
I'm sorry, you're already in the end zone. So like you can play really slow to go. You're nice and calm. You're chill. You don't want someone on there that's moving around. I mean, and I'm a fiery guy. But
Right.
when you're in that situation, man, you're calm. You got to understand, hey, it's 3rd and 5. There's 11 seconds left. There's not much they can do. I don't give a damn if they throw a 5-yard curl route. I'm making sure I don't light up the scoreboard and lose the game,
Mm-hmm.
especially as a deep safety, which we have here. You can see that it's a 3 down front. Backers got man to man on the running back. Everyone's getting locked in. Number 3, I think he's kind of a linebacker safety hybrid. I'm going to go back and look at the roster. I think he's a safety. It's with that 3-2-6 look. He won the game right here and the
Mm-hmm.
safety combined. This was a clinic between the number 3 linebacker. What I need you to watch is his leverage. Number 3. You see him lose him there for a minute.
Right.
But if good leverage, if you know where your help is, right? Just like build a wall and set an edge, if a safety or a linebacker or a defensive back, doesn't matter who it is, if they know if they're supposed to be on the inside or the outside of that wide receiver, they've got safety help on the backside. It's complementary football. That's what I loved about the defense. It was like a musical, man. It was an orchestra. Everyone had to be on the same page. It was a thing of art. It's beautiful. And this play right here is it. So you're going to watch number 3. He actually loses him, but he
Mm-hmm.
stays on the inside, and that safety sees that over the top route, and he bangs him from on top. And number 3's underneath, which hurts the quarterback. That quarterback's got to put a little little thing on it. He can't put it in there like he wants to. Quarterback's got to make a damn near impossible throw, and the safety comes down there and just puts his thing on him like that. It's that
Hmm.
forearm shiver, baby, and we win the game. 3rd and 2, and then they run it out of bounds on 4th down. I don't know why he didn't throw it in the end zone, but I'm not
Oh
going to.
my God, dude. Yeah, that last play. We were outside of the stadium
I'm,
watching it from that little hole where they've got the
yeah,
Wild Band of Hogs statue.
yeah,
And
oh,
you see DJ, he's like, "What? He ran out
yeah,
of bounds." Like you'd at least thought he was going to put it in the air and give somebody
oh,
an opportunity
no,
to do
man,
something.
no.
Absolutely, absolutely crazy,
Oh,
man. I feel like I'm already looking at these entire plays differently. I learned so much. Build a wall, set an edge, down and distance, personnel. What
that's
else do
right.
I need to know?
Man, that right there is your foundation, right? So like just like the good book says, man, build your house on the rock. The rock is down and distance, personnel, anticipate what run is coming and what
Yep.
pass is coming. It's okay if you're wrong, but if it's a run play over here and it's really a pass over here, at
Hmm.
least you're anticipating. Defensive players, their minds are always going. We get to make the last adjustment. If the offense motions to the right, we get to roll a guy here. If they roll to
Right.
the left, you get to make the last adjustment. And the defensive players that played in that Tennessee game, tip of the cap to Coach T. Will. I mean, that was, and like you said, like, do you usually press corners in 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter versus the number 4 team who's getting 500 plus yards a game?
Right.
No,
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
don't.
No.
But if you
Right.
want to beat him, you got to.
Yep.
If you want to beat him, and that's what
Yeah.
we just did. We laid it on the table, and the blitz got there. Defensive back's best friend is a good rush, Josh. It was such beautiful football. Even when that linebacker lost contain on that tight end on that top 5 play, the
Hmm.
safety comes down with good help. I mean, that's the kind of football that these guys, this locker room's got to take forward going into LSU. You can beat anybody. It's
Hmm.
what's awesome about the SEC. Every single week, it didn't matter if they were ranked 1, 2, or 3. It didn't matter. If you take down a team like Tennessee, you can take down LSU. Who's next? Ole Miss got them.
You
Nothing
know,
to it.
right. Yeah, you're totally right. Building the confidence for the defense is huge. And I think
Yeah.
that we're already seeing that. I want to ask you a question because you got to play with both Houston Nutt. You got to play with Bobby Petrino.
Yeah.
Bobby's back at Arkansas.
Yeah.
And it's already seeming to change whether or not our offense has been the shining point in the past couple games because truly our
Mhm.
defense is
No
what's
question.
standing out right now.
No question.
But there is there is a correlation to Bobby arriving and this team playing better, holistically, right?
Yeah.
What do you remember, and can you share with the viewers about uh, what your time with Bobby brought to just the belief of the program? And it's not like we were bad under Houston Nutt by any means. Those are some of the
No.
best seasons that we've ever had, right?
Yeah.
But you can at least test to your firsthand experience with Bobby and kind of what you think that might be playing into now with him coming back.
Yeah. So that's a great thought, Josh. I think that Bobby coming back, it does instill some confidence in defense, right? If you watch the Cowboy game on Sunday, rest in peace to them. They're dead in the water. Um, the defense has no confidence in Dak and the offense, right? My dad used to say, Matt, we were a really good team because if we stopped whoever we were playing, we knew that if we gave the ball back to Roger Staubach, we were going to win the game. Or
Hmm.
there was really good chance that he was going to come back and make a win. I think they've got that relationship with Bobby again. Bobby's got an NFL playbook. Houston and them. It was early 2000s, right? The modern offense wasn't the RPOs weren't there. It was still 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and so it was a lot of press man and blitz, and let's see how this quarterback reacts under pressure. And you can't lose that. That's the foundation you're supposed to build a good defense on, like you saw in a lot of those 3-2-6 blitzes with that press corner. Because I think they believe in their offense, right? We're down 13-14 with 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Hey, we believe that if we stop this team, that a Bobby Petrino playbook can now go put it in the end zone. I mean, heck, we scored 1 touchdown up until 3 minutes to go in the
Right.
fourth quarter. But you
Exactly.
got to believe. You got to believe, man. You got to believe. And I think they do.
Yeah, I totally. I mean, this team is completely different than what we thought even coming in this summer.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have sat here and told you that we could be 6-0
Yeah.
going into an LSU game, and we are
Yeah.
4-2, and I'll take
Take
that
it.
given
Man,
given
take
what
it.
I thought because even the games that we lost,
Yeah.
I don't feel like we were beat. I feel like we truly
Yeah.
beat ourselves in those
Yeah.
situations. So look,
Yeah.
we've got LSU coming up next week, and I'm gonna shoot you some LSU game film because actually I want to look at the LSU Ole Miss game, and I want you to
Yeah.
kind of let's dive into what that LSU defense might be bringing to us.
Okay.
What you think some of the weak points are, what you think some of the strong suits are.
Okay.
But we'll pick out a handful of plays there and dive into those for our viewers. Because yeah, I love this, man. I already learned something. Look, and you know me, I'm sometimes I'm
Yeah.
just cocky, right? And I think
Yeah.
I know everything. And I just I sit back and I'm like, oh yeah, you know, there's a reason why this man started in the SEC, and I was his scout team dummy. I get it now, you know, I get it. So man,
Love
I
it.
appreciate it. I appreciate you coming on, man. I'm looking forward to doing this all season. Now, what I've got to do for the viewers is I'm going to take that film, I'm going to cut it up over everything that Matt just brought to us, so that we've got some visual examples of the whole game film process, breaking down that film as a whole. Matt, I'm going to shoot you some more film. You gotta take a look at this LSU stuff. We got to get DJ on here with us all one day, just having a good time,
Yeah.
and hopefully
Yeah.
we'll get you back in Northwest Arkansas soon to do
Oh,
something live. I would love
oh,
that.
please, Lord, get me back to the Ozarks, man. I pray every day.
Man,
Them hogs.
are you coming up for any games? You got any plans to come up
I'm
for a Razorback
trying
game?
to, man. You know, our little ones, my son Bo, he'll turn 4 in a couple weeks. He's starting to call the hogs. He just turned a corner, man. He's turning into a little football fiend.
Uh-huh.
He said, "Daddy, I want to hit people." I'm like, "Oh Lord, no, play quarterback, son. Play quarterback." And what was the sponsor? Ortho, man. I need to
Yeah.
come see them. My neck and shoulders, all
Yeah.
kinds of beat up.
Oh, listen,
But
I'm
I'm
telling
trying
you
to
right
get it.
now, I had Tracy Bird work for Ortho Arkansas when I was in high school.
Yeah.
She's my high school trainer. She works there now.
Ah,
Amazing trainer, amazing. But I needed her a
yeah.
couple times in college with you. I keep talking about this slant route, guys. Y'all need to understand this before we let you go. I'm just running a simple slant. It's Alabama week. Everybody's hyped up on whatever drugs they were doing on the side of the ball, on the defensive side of the ball. They came to practice just nuts. We've at least got a good quarterback in Mallet on scout
Yeah.
team, so I'm a little overconfident. I
Yeah.
run a slant route on Ramon Broadway. I'm not gonna say anything bad. I'm
Cut
not gonna
route,
dog
man. Inside.
I'm not gonna dog Ramon Broadway, but I wasn't worried. I wasn't worried,
Oh, man.
Broadway. I came across the field. I'm looking at Jerry Franklin. I'm like, please give me this ball quickly so I can turn upfield. And Mallet delivered it right where it needed to be, caught it. I was already thinking touchdown, y'all. I was just trying to put it in the pocket. You catch, and in college, what we used to have to do on all of our drills, whether we were working off the machine or anything, we always played. We played. They had these things we would call out a number, right, or
Yeah.
what was ever on the ball. And so I call out that number when I caught it, and I did it mentally because I was so programmed. I'm looking at the nose of the ball, put it into the tuck, and then just I'm talking, guys, ear hold me as if he was really not hitting his teammate and friend. He had to see me after practice. I get up, ball flies out. I'm on the ground. I hop up quick, like I'm supposed to hop up, but I didn't know where I was at. And I'm just jogging off to the defensive side of the ball, get over there with the defense, and they're like, T-Bird, what are you doing, man? I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm here. They're like, no, brother, you're on the wrong side of the field. And I'm looking out. I can see the little Tweety Bird little lights. I'm still coming back to. Matt comes up to me after practice, wants to hug me like it was all good. I'm like, no, bro. And he's like, welcome to the SEC. Welcome to the SEC, Turbo. He used to call me Turbo. He used to call me Turbo because I was slow.
Turbo.
So he
That's
called me
right.
Turbo.
Turbo.
The disrespect, y'all. The
Hey, man.
disrespect.
Hey,
So
I
look,
love Turbo, man. That y'all scout, you're only as good as your scout team, and I felt like people were kind of slacking around that day for Bama week, and I wanted to tune everybody up. I felt like I got someone's attention,
uh,
and
you
it was
did.
nothing but love, baby, nothing
You
but love.
did.
But I'm getting ready for Bama, man. You know they're gonna. That's Julio Jones I was hitting. I wasn't hitting Turbo. I was hitting Julio, and
Dude, I know. Hey, listen,
yeah,
I get it. And we had a great shot again. Mallet at quarterback, Reggie Fish at wide receiver because he
yeah,
redshirted a random year.
yeah, yeah,
Stormin Norman over there
yeah,
running because he came off of
yeah,
a transfer. Uh,
yeah.
uh, yeah, my
It's
goodness,
good
the list
stuff.
went on. The list went on with
Yeah,
guys that had played
yeah.
and weren't your typical scout team guy. And
No, good
then there was
stuff.
me, and then there was me. You know, out there just getting
T-Bird.
grilled. So, all right, man. I
Turbo.
appreciate you coming on, dog. I look forward
Love
to
you,
doing
dude.
this to you again. We could catch up for everybody and talk about all different types of stuff nobody wants to
Yeah,
hear. So, hey, listen, we'll try to get back together later this week. We
for sure.
appreciate you watching Fourth and Five. Drop us a couple name
Yeah.
ideas for the show, and we'll be coming to you this week with more stuff from DJ and I and Matt. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Likewise, brother. Love you,
Thanks,
man.
brother.
Go Hogs.